Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for Under the Dome. This week it was Season 1, Episode 9, which was called The Fourth Hand. Okay, now for this week, I'm not going to get too in-depth about this episode with my review. I'm going to keep it fairly short because I felt like this week was a pretty weak episode, to be honest with you. A couple times throughout this episode, I was just watching and I was like, oh man, this is, I don't know, it feels weird. I don't know if who directed it. I didn't look up the, who worked on it or anything like that, but I really felt like it was a downgrade in quality from what we've been getting recently. By the way, this will contain minor spoilers because there are a few events in here, that I will spoil. Right off the bat, I'll say, to get the ending out of the way, to get the whole egg thing out of the way, with the dome, the fourth hand thing. I mean, it's okay setup. I don't have a problem with them, on this new mission to find the fourth hand, but I hope that leads somewhere. I hope if they do find the fourth person and the fourth person is to touch it, then we'll see something happen. Maybe the dome shut off while they have their hands on it or something. Maybe a door get created, or I don't know, something of the sort that would be different than what we have seen up until this point. It seems like with the whole dome, egg, teenagers, and Angie thing, it kind of all feels like it hasn't led anywhere, It hasn't changed anybody's situation inside of the dome. So it all feels kind of pointless until we actually see some kind of payoff from all this setup and, all of that portion of the story that we've seen all the way up until now. And those characters as well, too. So hopefully there'll be some kind of consequence or something if they do find the fourth person and use their hands as a key, so to speak, to unlock whatever it is you're supposed to unlock with the egg thing, the generator or whatever, and maybe shut it off or something of the sort. So I hope that goes somewhere because it's gotten a little long in the tooth for me personally, and I got to see something happen with that. Otherwise, it's just like, what's the point of this? So that's the main thing of this episode. In addition to that, we saw Big Jim collecting the guns from people in town, voluntarily at first, but then right after he goes after a guy and forces him to hand in his firearms. It was, he was contradicting himself. It didn't make sense. First, he's saying, okay, here's what we're going to do. It's all voluntary, yada, yada, yada. And then, he goes right after that one guy to get his guns. And yes, he does end up, helping him and stopping him from killing himself, almost getting shot, Barbie almost shooting him. But the whole thing just felt like one big contradiction for Big Jim and what he had just said he was going to do. And yes, I know he doesn't always follow what he says, and he does lie, and he does things like that. But it just felt like sloppy writing to me, and it felt pointless, really, overall. Because this is a new character anyway. We haven't seen him up until now do anything anyway, so I don't know, it just kind of felt sloppy, like the writing just really sloppy here in terms of that whole situation. In addition to that, to boot, we have this new character. I don't even know her name. What did he say it was? I don't even remember now. That knows Big Jim and knows Barbie and seems to be, I don't know, somehow running the show out of nowhere. Says that she's been there for 8 days just watching everybody in someone's house and then finally coming to Jim after. Yeah, again, it just feels like sloppy writing. It's like you're trying to add a new character, but at the same time, it's like she wasn't there before. She waited 8 days through all this chaos and everything that was happening with them, all this craziness. And what was she doing? Just having a vacation, just chilling while all this stuff was going on. Now she comes in now and wants to start trying to tell Big Jim what to do and has information on him that he doesn't want getting out, and also has something on Barbie, of course, we know about that he doesn't want Julia to know about. And it just, I don't know, the whole thing just felt really contrived. It felt really just, the whole episode, really, all the writing, everything was really not quite there on point this episode. The one thing I did think was cool was that we got to see a little bit more about Junior, and that his mom, before she died, was doing some paintings, which I thought was pretty freaky. You see the pink stars and all that, and it kind of explains a little bit to why Junior was acting in a certain way, and maybe he's got some kind of knowledge about what may happen, and he can come off as crazy because he's got more knowledge than everybody else, so he's able to take a proactive stance towards what's going to happen quickly or soon. Maybe he has some way through the paintings is able to tell some events that are going to take place within the dome in the future. And that was fairly interesting. I'll give this episode that. But aside from that, I mean, the whole thing with Linda investigating the propane from the old sheriff, again, it's like, he's dead, so where's this going? It's just propane. Who cares? I don't know. Again, that too is not that interesting to me. So almost all the setup in this episode, to me personally, was really not that interesting. And there was, not a lot of action really. The whole Barbie almost shooting Big Jim in the back of the head type thing. It was like, what? Like what are you talking about? I don't know. The new chick just kissing Barbie out of nowhere again was like, what? What is going on here? Raises a lot of questions, and it just this episode, a lot of things in this episode really felt weird and really felt out of place. So the good, okay, that's the bad. The good, Big Jim's still around. I guess that's good. Junior's getting a little bit of backstory, and we're finding a little bit more about him. That's good. The fourth hand thing, I guess, is fairly interesting. But everything else was just like, in this episode, was just like, blah, bland, nah. In today's market, with all the competition of all different media, with movies and video games and other shows and other things going on, meh just doesn't cut it these days. So I'm going to have to give this the worst score I've given so far in Under the Dome. I'm going to have to give this one a 3 out of 10. I know I almost never do that. Like this one, I almost didn't even do the review for because I was like, I do like the show. I like the show a lot, but I gotta do my reviews honestly, and I felt like this episode was really a miss all the way through. So I'm giving it a 3. Really bad score, but again, gotta be honest. Gotta go ahead with how it plays out. So. I just hope the rest of the series is not like this, because we've had some great episodes from this series, especially recently. I guess it was sooner or later we were going to have a down episode, but I just didn't expect it to be like this one. This one was really drab. Okay, that's it for this one. I guess I will probably do a review for next week's episode, depending. If it's like tonight's, I might not. Hopefully it gets better and we see some things happen, because this one was just, amateurish all the way around and has almost no redeeming qualities, bad writing, bad setup for the most part, just uninteresting all around. So, brutal. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought. Am I being too harsh on it, do you think? Do you think maybe a lot of the events are interesting? Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm tired and I'm not, I don't know. Something of the sort. Am I off base on this one? Let me know what you think. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.